They ask, who am I for? They ask, who defines me? They ask, what am I? How do I look like? Who can make me? I am graspable. I am thinkable. I am tangible. I am justice.
I can hear the storm. It will keep coming if we don't stop it. On and on, the end of the world keeps happening. It has happened to indigenous people. It has happened to the already disappeared, human and non-human. To the already gone. Our worlds are ending. And new worlds begin. Who will make up for this harm? Who will build the future?
I am multiple. My faces are many. I stand, I turn, I make you wonder. I say, individuals are to be recognized for who they are, on their own terms. I claim, the ones who are affected must not pay for the actions of those who benefited. I declare, power is to be accounted for.
To make justice now, we need climate justice.
Climate justice.
It all goes back to the early environmental justice movement. They went on and criticized the very basic definition of environment. It's not the wilderness, it's a matter of everyday life. The problem of climate change became more and more present after Hurricane Katrina, and soon enough, the understanding that a functioning environment is a crucial element for any kind of justice. Back then, it wasn't just about carbon emissions, and it mustn't be now. It's about fiercely, urgently rethinking economics and society itself.
I am recognition. If you can't even see or listen to someone, there is no justice for them.
Hi Arya. You like to live with humans, don't you? We just came over here, found a cozy spot and moved in. You asked me to open doors, give you food and attention. You know what you want, when you want it. One just has to listen. Isn't that so? Deliberation, translations, language games and interpreters. They're useful for all kinds of communication. We can learn from each other if we listen well. Don't you agree, Arya? We can recognize other animals' abilities, needs, and wishes to shape their own environments, as well as their conditions of interaction. The lands are not just for the human animals. The slaughterhouses, they must go. The animal-industrial complex should be abolished. I will remember what we have done, so it will never happen again. I'll mourn all have rituals and chants. For some of us, human animals, will need to be reminded never to go back believing we are all controlling, colonizing non-human bodies and spaces. Because right now, that's how our society is structured, as if we were. So many justifications pop up to hold on to the supremacy of the human, ontologically, epistemologically, and morally. But I have heard the other's joys, the other's pain. I've heard them, and I can't go back. Who can hold it up and point and say it is only I that matter? Only my language, only my speech. Where does that I end? Who does it exclude?
Come, human animal. Let go of that which cuts me in half, that which puts nature on one side, culture on another, that which makes me for some but not others. I am not only for those capable of the highest reason which you deem worthy. I am not only for those that are white, male, or able. Make me whole. I am representation. If you are not even considered a political actor, how can your concerns be heard?
I know I have to listen with my body and beyond my body. I know I have to decenter myself, to give up speciesism so deeply entrenched in the society in which I live, that always privileges a certain kind of human over all other living beings. From the current humanist liberal model, we can walk, we can fly, and we can swim and even crawl to multi-species society. Some ideas already exist, they're not unheard of. Sanctuaries are already places of possibility in which pigs, turkeys, cows, and cats and humans live and work joyfully. I could coexist with the ones who are our closest kin, to whom we've done so much harm. I'll ask forgiveness. To our dearest companion species, I'll provide care, and to those we have violently domesticated, I'll be accountable. Why not see them as citizens, give them more space, medical care, and my love too, if they ask for it. Others can be seen as denizens, the liminal animals who co-evolved with us. I can imagine having our infrastructures mindful of them and their needs. And even further, the so-called wild, the free-roaming, can be seen as sovereign communities of their own territory whose autonomy is respected. The framing of rights cannot be easily ignored when you are left outside of it. As long as negative rights protect some individuals from being harmed, killed, or exploited, they must work for everyone. And so do positive rights, such as the right to move freely among settlements, to be able to choose one's own community, to be cared for when ill and in need. But states will come to recognize their histories, how they legitimized animal abuse, how they institutionalized it, how they have worked so well, hand in hand with capital, profited off animal bodies to become stronger, more powerful. COVID-19 pandemic reminds me that desecrating other natures always had consequences. During lockdown, one of the few accepted reasons to go for walks was for our companion dogs. And yet, are they really taken into account? Some people would say it's absurd to listen to dogs. But why? Because they don't speak using words? Discriminating on the basis of ability leads us nowhere good. Or maybe because they're not seen as meaningful participants in society? But who gets to say whose actions have meaning? And even so, why should it be permissible to silence those who are vulnerable? Or made to be vulnerable? How can we rest knowing all this? With climate change, it's time to see justice as an earthly matter. Our world is globalized, but risk is not. Risk lingers. It's put aside, thrown away in another's backyard. Benefits and riches are piled on the other side of the fences. It's time. Time to tear them down.
I am distribution. If all your work is taken and little is given back, if the land you live on is not yours, if you don't even own your body, how can there be justice?
I used to think justice is about making sure some of us don't suffer from what others profit from. Like having the goods and the bads shared between us. I know it's more than that now, but I also know we can't have justice when some of us toil and others take the gold. I can't imagine what it's like to be transported, crowded in trucks during heat waves, when you're sensitive to heat. I can't imagine what it's like to be left dying, burning in the wildfires. I can't. But I am an animal too. I can ally. I can see their struggle, their suffering, their extinction.
I mean it when I say those who benefit from this destruction must take responsibility. I am also parody of participation. But you must know how to see power. It's the military, yes. It's the control of the means of production, yes. It's in the hands of those who decide, yes. Those who control knowledge and dictate beliefs. those who make up what is to be discussed, what is to be paid attention to. You can't have justice if you don't recognize power.
As long as I live, I'll walk towards you, justice. I walk and I walk, I crawl and I dance, I stumble and I fall. I've believed in institutions that helped. I've believed in institutions that made things worse. I've learned to listen to the locals, to empower communities, to not go colonizing. I know when I say animal, I say so little. If animal isn't something I'm not, but something I am, how can I better speak with the others of my family? They are so different. But most, if not all, need a healthy environment. Not climate change, not polluted, not fragile and dying, not prone to flooding and desertification. And so do I. So do we.
So do we.
What am I to do, you ask? I know for once that I must listen. Others of my kind laugh when I say we should treat other animals justly, distribute our common goods, recognize their individuality, represent them in our politics. They say what now? Give them mentions, anthropomorphize them and put them in parliament? Laughing. Yes, that's one way of keeping the distance. Ridicule is how one never engages with what is so different yet so much like them. Non-human animals have their own preferences. To want or to feel is not uniquely human. I think they should have access to what they value doing, to be enabled to decide for themselves. I know not all of us vote, and some of us vote with our feet. Movement says something, presence says something. Other ways of communicating beyond written and oral language need to be taken seriously. But also, voting has gotten us to so many bad results. Sure, other animals can vote like me. They might not even need to. Maybe there are better ways to organize our lives beyond structures that crave power and control. Maybe we should look for those. Maybe looking is how we get there. Maybe searching is how we get there. I will never say hope is lost. For many of us, the world has already ended. The world has been ending and ending for hundreds of years. Yet some of us survived. Here we are, still. The work we do is not against death, It's against the injustice of killing, of cultural and material slaughter. The walks we take are towards justice. We fly, we crawl, and we swim. We are getting there.